So yeah, I was mucking around with me packaging the other day. Well, I've got several buckets of different types. If you imagine yourself only eating the same food every day of the week. Well made up with her. Absolute stunner. Tis the dedication of the koi whisperer. The same idea with his bamboo shoot. That is crystal clear. Well then, so just a little update on the boys' tank. Mechanical filtering. And from this stage back to the end, he uses his biological of the wife's tights. Of how I made this on the channel. Enough of you babbling on about me. Happy days. Right then, so decided on a name for this lovely character. Fancy little goldfish. Lovely jubbly. Cup tea. Tis raining. Tis the dedication of the koi whisperer. So, we have come outside to have a little tour of the new girl, or the new boy should I say. But before we get into a bit of detail, a lot of people ask me what this is for on the pond, this little post. Well, the answer is, it's where I put me cup when I'm out with a koi. I think what I'm going to do is get some food, get them to come right up, have a slurp on me tea. And it's not exactly, it's getting that time of year again now, guys, isn't it? You know, I'm enjoying the last of it. Don't get me wrong, when I designed this pond, inside there, throughout the window, that's generally where I stand and watch them. But you can't beat being up close and personal with your pride and joy. Let me go get some food a minute. So yeah, I was mucking around with me packaging the other day. Instead of just chucking it out, I cut around the koi fish and then I just stuck it on top of the lid. I also done the same with just a few stickers, just so I know what food is in each bucket. Because I was getting to the stage, I was mixing up my food and there was, well, I've got several buckets of different types of stuff that I like to feed them, give them a balanced diet. I don't like keeping my koi on the same food. Reason behind that, if you imagine yourself only eating the same food every day of the week, your body naturally would lose out on some vitamins, some stuff that you need in a balanced diet. In a natural environment, a koi would search for those things, but in a man-made pond, your pond just doesn't cater for everything that fish needs throughout the year. So it's good to change a koi's diet. It's good to make sure that they have a different flow of food. Don't keep them on the same food forever, especially if you want to see potential in growth, potential in colour, body shape. It all comes into it. But as you can see, she's up, absolutely loving it at the moment, eating well. I have slowed down on the feed. I'm down on 75 grams a day now. I think that's quite comfortable at the moment because the water temperatures are dropping back in the evenings. I'm not seeing big changes, but I am seeing it coming down, and it's not, you know, it's not staying as it was. Pond's currently running at like 17 degrees at the moment, which is still more than warm enough. To be fair, any more potential growth this year, those temperatures, that's just not enough. If I want to see any more growth this year, I've got to push the temperatures up to at least 22. If I'm running below 22, the fish will do fine, they'll be healthy, but I won't see any potential growth on body shape unless the water temperatures stay above 22. I haven't run the heaters at all throughout the summer this year. I haven't been worried about growing the fish to a certain size. I've just been worried about keeping them as healthy as possible in the environment that I can do my best with. Yeah, that being said, she's doing really well, to be fair. Looking really good, all full of beans, all really hungry. Johnny tries jumping out then. He's like, give me some food, Dad, give me some food. Yeah, hope you've been liking the videos, guys, recently. Some of the ones I put out just shows what I can do when I am at home in between instead of working full time. One of them things like we all have to do, but I find if you can put as much effort in as possible, happy days. The actual fish in question. So I asked a lot of people how much I paid for this fish. Well, believe it or not, I actually paid £500 coins. Not actually pound coins, but pound notes, whichever way you want to call it. £500. Absolute bargain. Absolute steal, to be fair. Part of the reason why the wife don't understand. The wife don't understand. She thinks it's like £500 for a fish. You're crazy. You spent that could buy a car. Do you know what I mean? All that sort of stuff going on, which is completely fine. But she doesn't get the koi hobby in the way of, you know, some people buy a fish because it's a nice fish or the way it looks, but she don't get the you know, she would be quite happy to go and buy a £1.99 goldfish and think that looks nice. That's a lot of money, a lot of money for a koi. I've never paid that. That's the most I've ever paid, and it's quite serious money. Right then, so just a little update on the boys tank. So recently, the weekend, he literally decided that it needed a revamp, needed a remake over. So he drained down 20% of the water. He took out the rocks. He gave him a good clean in the same water that he took out. He done the same with his actual filter itself. The media inside of the filter, he didn't touch. But at the very bottom, he uses a little bit of filter floss and he replaced that. The new plec in the back, doing very well. He didn't clean the back of the tank or the sides of the tank. He only cleaned the front for the pure fact that he wanted to make sure that there was still algae in there for the plec to eat. Got some pleco sticks, but he wanted to make sure the algae was still in there so obviously the pleco had something to eat. But apart from that, tank's looking absolutely sick. Love what he's done to it. He's done this scape himself. The real plants that was in the tank, he decided to take them out. He didn't want them in there anymore. He is thinking about redesigning the tank completely, putting a better substrate in at the back for the plants to grow, and the aqua soil and the tropical soil, or, you know, there's loads of different brands out there, but we've got some. When he does it, he'll show you what he's going to do, because he's got a few good ideas, and I let him do his own thing in this tank. He runs it all by himself, and well, he does a fantastic job. But he also has this tank up here, which he does everything by himself. He has literally just put a plec in this tank just to help out, keep the tank that little bit cleaner. But the filter system on it, to be fair, for such a small tank, is outstanding. What he runs on the tank, so the filter system's all in the back of the tank, then that there runs for a sequence of media, and the way he set it up is really good, to be fair, to give him a full nitrogen cycle. He's got his own little plant system in there. From this whole stage he uses all of this as mechanical filtering, and from this stage back to the end he is biological. Here there with holes in it. Basically that piece of media is a ceramic piece of media, very porous. Plant stage, which in his plant stage, like I was saying, I'll just pop this one out a minute. So basically what he's done, it's a piece of bamboo, and basically he's put the nutrients, everything in the bottom. In the pair of the wife's tights, he filled it with all of the proper stuff, and you can see the roots actually bursting through it. It's growing that well. So doing a fantastic job on that. The tips of the plants here, where I've been touching against the light, it's just started to burn. But what he does do, I'll do it for him now, dips his fingers in and he just dampens up the leaves. He used to spray it, but I sort of told him that he can't spray it because the paint behind the wall that I've only recently just decorated, I don't want it all running off because it's water based. And that being said, that's the reason why. And then it runs through to something special that he made. So he's like, Dad, on your koi pond, how come you've got a K1 moving bed? Why can I have a K1 moving bed in my tank? And I was like, yeah, of course you can, mate. So we made him one. Out of a bottle, a Robinson's bottle. Yeah, it works. An absolute dream, to be fair. And it's really, really brown and matured, and it's doing fantastic. And that's just run off an air pump, and it's just a Robinson's juice bottle. There's a video of how I made this on the channel if anyone wanted to add something like this to the tank. I'll try and leave a link above if I can find the video. We're going to move on to the son's tank and show you what his tank's looking like. So the crab tank, the son's done exactly the same idea with his bamboo chute. Still no crabs in it yet, but we're waiting for them to come in stock. And I'm not sure, we can't remember if they said rainbow crabs or red claw crabs. We can't remember what they said, to be fair, but they give us the instructions of what it was to be set up. There's not much water in there, but that is crystal clear. Basically, with the evaporation on the tank, every sort of 3 days he has to probably top up. What he's trying to do is just making sure that if the water drops below the plants, at these 3 front plants, if it drops below that, he needs to top it up just above that. So that's the play in mind that he works with. So tomorrow night he's just going to top it up that much with dechlorinated water. But the tank in question looking absolutely wicked. And when he gets his crabs in there, it'll be something different just to show you every now and then, just to keep things different. And, well, my boy will absolutely love to show you his crabs when he gets them in there. Wicked. Moving on to his leopard gecko. So then, everybody, this is my son's reptile. This reptile was a leopard gecko. Named her Poppy. Lovely character, to be fair. Coming into her 4th year now. I think she might even be he's had her for 5 years now. Colours and patterns are in this one. She's just recently shedded. But as you can see, loads of depositories. Takes them out with he's got like a sieve. So he sieves them out. Sorry if there's a bit of a weird sound coming off the glass, but this tank in question looks really cool. And Poppy's really healthy. Bit of an update for Oliver. But he always says about taking the sand out, the substrate. Well, the actual substrate itself, on the packaging, it says on the packaging that if this substrate is digested, it can be easily, what's the word I'm looking for? Yeah, so basically he can digest it. She can digest it, and it doesn't cause her any trouble whatsoever. And if we had a problem, or if she looked unhealthy, there's a lot of rocks in there. And the only place that he ever allows her to eat anything is in that dish. The water dish is up there, so it's nowhere near sand. And occasionally when he puts a treat in, he puts a treat up here on the flat where there's no sand. And we don't get a problem. I'm not saying that it's the right way, but this is just the way that we've done it. And we haven't had a problem. I'm not saying that you won't never get a problem, but she looks perfectly happy. My son really likes the way he set the tank up, so I don't think he's going to change it unless there's an issue that we think that she looks unhealthy or any of those reasons, to be fair. But quality character, full of beans, and interesting to look at every now and then. And my boy absolutely loves her, so that's the main thing for me. Each to your own. He likes his weird animals, as I say, but then he thinks my koi are weird, so we just like it together as a family, and we do make sure that she's well looked after. The worst thing about having one of these pets is that you have to keep live bugs. Not just them either. Crickets, hoppers, moth things. He knows them all. I can't tell you them all. He'll be in a video one day and tell you. But she is a cool little character. She's like, right, shut the glass, because I've had enough of you babbling on about me. Right, on that note, guys, just a little update there. So there's Poppy, and the reason was just to talk about that. If we had any issue at all with depositories, because that's the reason what I've read about, is that the sand gets them bunged up and they can't digest food. Well, she can digest this, but we don't never feed her on it. Happy days. Right then, so decided on a name for this lovely character, fancy little goldfish. So the new name is Lemon. So massive thank you to everyone who said the names, calling her Lemon. Quality name, sits in the tank perfectly, and well, she's settled in an absolute dream. So all of the other goldfish in here, really doing well. Only downside, same as goldfish always do, they always mess up your display. So what they're doing, they're rooting around in here, and they're rooting around for all their food, and all of the display bits I've put in, they just keep pulling out and banking up the front of the tank. Never a problem. That's why I literally minimized it. Can't say that word, cutting that out. So basically that's why I changed the escape. I changed the escape for that reason, so it's easy for me to sort out when I need to sort it out. But I thought I'd just give you a little update. Everyone in here is doing absolutely brilliant, and well, just a little update on that one. Happy days. So yeah guys, coming to the end of the video now. Just want to say a massive thank you to everyone who's been watching the video. Well, on that note, happy ponding, happy tanking, happy whatever else I've showed you on this video, and well, I'll catch you on the next one. Thank you very much.